Hi, I'm Chris Toland, and this short video is to answer a question from a student of one of my Udemy courses who wanted to know if it was possible to add a countdown timer inside an UpViral Prize Draw. It's not something I'd done before, but countdown timers are a great way to introduce the element of scarcity into a prize draw and encourage people to enter. So here's just one of the ways that it can be done. Now, as you can see, I'm here on Google and I've done a search for HTML countdown timer. And what I'm going to do is go to this first result here that is called Free Countdown Timer for Your Website, timeanddate.com. I'll click on there and go into the website. And what we're going to do here is create a countdown timer. Down the bottom right hand corner here, it shows exactly what it's going to look like. So there's really just a few things that we need to change on here. You can play around with this yourself and get it to look exactly how you want to. But what you want to do is first of all choose your time zone. I'm in the UK, so I'll have it set like this. You then want to decide on the date when this is counting down to. So of course this would be the date that your prize draw is ending. So as an example here, this one is finishing on the 1st of December at the moment. So let's change that to be the 31st of December 2016. And as you'll see then, when we come out of that box, this at the bottom here automatically changes. So there are now 30 days, 6 hours, etc. until the prize draw ends. You can obviously put the hours, the minutes and everything like that on there if you want to, and change that however you want to. Now we're going to use the HTML version of this. So you want to choose one of these three options here. As you see, you can have it in one line, you can have it in 2 lines with day, hour, minute underneath, which is what I've got here, or you can have it lined up on vertically. We won't be able to use the Flash themes because that's not a facility that we're using, because we want HTML, so we just leave it like that. Come to the bottom here. If you wanted to change to have different colours in the background of it, you could do that. I will for now just leave it as white. In fact, let's make it just slightly grey like that. You then want to look here, the text rows, 2 header lines plus a counter. See here you've got a line at the top, then where it says London and then the counter. I would change this to just header line and counter, so that will get rid of the word London, because we don't want it to know that it's on London time unless you particularly want to include that. Then you can change the font and font size if you want to. Then the counter mode you will want to leave as it is there. Smallest unit, do you want it to be seconds there or just minutes? You can change that if you want to. Unit, text, you can change all these different things if you want to here. Now what you do want to change though is when time has passed. So in other words, when it gets down to 0, in fact you can demo it here, when you get to the last 10 seconds of your competition, of your prize draw, it will count down to 0, but at the moment it will start then counting upwards. Now do you want it to count upwards? I would say for a prize draw we don't want it to do that, so you could stop at 0. Then coming down the bottom here, you want to change this text, because this is the text that is above here, so you might want to change this to prize draw ends in ... for example. And that will be wording that comes over the top there. So let me change back to current time, shows you how we are there. So that's prize draw ends. Again, you can change all the colours on these things if you want to. Don't need to change this because we're having it stop at 0 anyway. Do you want a border around it? If you do, you could just decide on a border there and that will appear around it. And if you want some padding around it as well, a little bit of padding on either side, and you can increase that. Whoops. There, so that just makes it a little bit better displayed. So that's what it looks like there. All we then do is we want this to be on a normal web page, show HTML for countdown timer. So we click on that and it gives you this code here. We just click on that box and copy it. What we then need to do is go over to our prize draw on UpViral. Here is one of my prize draws that is already up and running, and what you need to decide is where you want the countdown timer to appear within the wording of your prize draw. So say for example I want it here just after need it and before the prize draw is totally free. On the left hand side, you need to come down to that point. What I would do, make space for it, then put some characters that you will recognise. So I know it wants to go there, for example, so I've just put some X's in there. What we then need to do is click this button here, which is the code view button. We click that and then we enter the code function. So what we do is the X's that are here and the P's, the paragraph markers around that, we just delete those and then we paste what we have just copied. So as you see, the prize draw then appears in the correct place on our page. If we click to come out of the code view, brings us back to the normal view there, and we come down the page and again it will appear in the correct place there in our column. Now of course you may decide you want this to stand out a lot more, and so you could have used some of the functions on the website for the countdown timer to create one that really stood out with a lot of colour, or was larger, or had got more of a space around it. You could obviously now put that in the centre if you wanted to, or mess around with it, do whatever you want to. But I hope this very short video just quickly shows you how you can create a countdown timer to add a little bit of extra scarcity to any prize draw that you create within UpViral. Now obviously what you'd want to do here is just save and close. So that has actually saved what we've done, and then we can just click on the link to actually go and look at the draw itself. And there it is. And if we come down, there is our scarcity timer on the actual prize draw itself. So I hope that's helpful to you. Thanks very much for watching.